Now that we have our invoices imported, we need to fix any errors that there might be. If your status says successful or imported, that means the invoice has gone through without any errors. To correct the errors, you double click on the errors, and then up pops the EDI import errors window. The first item we see is Popsicles Cherry Twin Pop. Imported unit of measure does not match case size as purchase unit of measure or case unit of measure. What this means is that the Popsicle Cherry is not set up in the right case size. With EDI, only 3 units of measure are recognized: case, kilo, and each. Everything else doesn't. So we're going to select option, and we're going to have to add a case size so that we can change the case size to the correct way. So we click add a case size, and up comes the window for adding case sizes. And we'll show you, if we go back to the other Cisco setup, you can see that they were set up by the box. Set up by the box. So we have to set this up by the case. And then we can go each, and we can go, there's 24 each in a case. Save that. Now it'll tell you, oops, the order code entered has been used by another case size. Click OK, and it'll take you to the old case size, highlight the case code, and you can backspace the case code, or order code, sorry, and then save, and that item is done. You'll now see a white check mark and a green circle beside that item. If I click reprocess, it will now disappear. The second item is oil liquid ZTF can. Well, we know we use oil liquid ZTF can, and it's not a new item, so they must have changed the order code, which does happen. So I can change that order code by going modify case size, and then I can find my oil, and then you can see my order code has changed. It used to be 123456, it's now this number. So I can just go over this order code, and I can change the order code to match. Click save, close it, and now you can see again there's a white check mark. Click reprocess, and it's gone. The next item was for a catering event, and it's a brand new item. So we have brand new item, muffins assorted, that we're using for a catering event. So I need to create this item. So I drop down and I go create item. When I create the items window opens up. Now you can see there's no description, there's no area. So first thing I'm going to do is take the case description, I'm going to copy it and just paste it into description so that I don't have to do any typing. My inventory group, we're going to go with food. My main location is in the freezer, they're frozen muffins, and in the recipe I'm using them by the each. This recipe unit is the most important part because you need to make sure that item is broken down properly. My GL account is food, very important that you get it to food. And then it's 3706 for a case. I use them by the each. There's 48 each in a case, and there's one. So how many each are in a case? There's 48. How many each are in each? There's 1. I can then look at the actual cost per each in the yellow and see that 77 cents makes sense for a muffin to purchase. I save that. Description already exists. That's because when you get a description already exists, you can put an asterisk at the end and it'll change it. So that has been saved. So now the only other thing I have is miscellaneous fees and rebates. I'll reprocess that last one. My miscellaneous and fees and rebates. This can be HST on delivery. It can be a delivery charge. It could be bottle deposits. A number of things. So what you do with these is you go down to general expense. You look on your invoice and see what it is, and then you come and click it. So we're going to look at this as being a bottle and CO2 refunds. I'm going to go OK, and now that's expensed. I click reprocess, and it now tells me that the invoice could not be reprocessed successfully. Would you like to continue processing the invoice window? This means that there's probably HST on this invoice that doesn't show up in EDI because it doesn't have an order code, so there's no way to track it. So I look at my invoice, and I see that my invoice says I've got $101.71 in HST. So there's or GST depending on where you are. So my difference is $101.71. So I click taxes and adjustments. I click add. There's my HSTBC. Okay. I put in my $101.71, and I save. And my invoice is saved, and I close this. Previously imported invoice is found. Would you like to mark these files as imported? That means the one that we've just done has been imported. We go yes, and it's now marked imported, so we cannot process it again. This is how we do corrections in EDI.